So this is First and Last with Radiohead, where we will compare their first ever released song, which is Creep, and their latest released song, which is Dreamers. We will then compare musical styles, writing styles, band members, and any other things that we can see that have changed over time. So, without further ado, let's jump into it.
Creep by Radiohead.
Is this their first ever song that they've released?
This is the first single, yes indeed.
Okay, dope. Where are Radiohead from? Just curiosity.
I think they're
British band.
I think they like Yorkshire or something.
Okay,
yeah,
Yorkshire. Cool. When did they form? Just I don't
1985.
85. That's the year that Michael Jackson did the moonwalk.
Is it?
On stage with the glove. Yes.
Is it?
But let's not deviate. Go on.
Oh, okay. I was going to say fun fact.
But this was released in 1992.
Oh, my birthday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, birth year. Anyway, let's get into this. We're talking far too much.
PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Quite diminished.
For minor 4.
One. Yes.
Wow, 3 chords. It really is three chords.
1, 3, 4, minor 4, 1. Yeah. If I'm getting that correct. But anyway, how do you guys feel about that song?
Okay. So
and I'll tell you some facts, little facts if you want.
Okay. You want to start, Tegs?
I like the song, but it came in the guitar did come in a bit aggressive.
Oh, too aggressive.
Yeah, wait, that chicken. I've literally thought that you had another video coming like that was clashing with it.
Apparently, if I remember correctly, the guitarist did that intentionally because he hated the song, and so he wanted he tried to sabotage the song by just coming in rough, and because he just didn't care.
Sounds like a child's thing to do.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Wow. Well, aesthetically, they look like a garage band. You know, to me, they look like a bit of a garage band. Like they look like I don't know what it is with that time. I don't know. Did Nirvana out at this time?
Yes.
But I can tell that. You know, I can just the aesthetic, like the even the drums, the drum kit set up. It's very everything about it just feels very like
They didn't have money then, man.
I mean, but it just smelt a bit like, okay, I know I've smelt this before. Not sonically, that vocally, obviously he's got a unique voice, so you couldn't really, I could never compare his voice to Kurt Cobain. What else can I say? Topically, talking about love, innit? Sounds like he's talking about love.
No, he was more. It was. I mean, he's saying that he's a creep.
Oh, okay.
You know. The song is called Creep.
Okay, so look at me, it's about love. It's about love.
I guess it's just about how much it's self-loathing, I guess.
Self-loathing. Okay, interesting.
You know?
Very interesting.
Let's see. I don't care if it hurts. I want to have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. So effing special.
We've all been there, man.
I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo.
Okay.
What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here.
Wow.
Whoa. That's a very depressing.
Is it depressing song?
We've been there though. I know I've been there.
Another thing I want to talk about quickly as well.
You heard love in that?
I did briefly. Self-love. But another thing I want to talk about is the fact that the band's sound sonically, like the mix, everything sounds very
like a garage band.
Yeah, like a garage band.
Excalibur says that the song is about JB.
Wow.
Okay,
it doesn't sound true, but that's okay. So
not so good.
Anyway, the sonically it didn't sound it sounded like everything else, like at the time. It just sounds very like trashy. You know, not very well put together. But anyway, let's go on to the then. Let's see. So then we can actually compare it really. I've got a big secret to say about this song.
to say, just after the way he was talking about the song.
Make you have to release him. Made him have to release himself. Okay.
Hey.
Oh.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna say my piece straight out of. But actually, no. You say your piece, Tegs.
Right. That was a beautiful song.
Okay. All right. Now, how do you feel from their first to the last?
This is a good evolution.
Ah.
Yeah. I mean, if all of the, I don't know, I haven't heard. I've heard the name Radiohead, but I've never actually listened to them. And if that's quite a jump to go from what they were, from that to this. They've gone through life.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, there's albums in between that. You know, if you were to, listen to the albums, you would see that. You'll see the progression. Of when they start to go into this stuff. Some of the techniques that they've used, like that whole reversing sound thing, that is like experimental stuff that I've seen done in hip hop or in my favorite artists. So Andre 3000 incorporates stuff like that. Kendrick Lamar incorporates stuff like that. And when you hear it, it's always like, that's interesting.
For me, I would say that. Obviously, I love that song. Why do I love that song? It's a perfect representation and demonstration of less is more. There were so many moments in that song where you were looking at me and you're like, why are you screwing up your face? And I was like, because they were building up tension. They were building up the tension through, obviously, the sustain of certain notes, holding it out, going to certain off notes within the scale that's like, oh, that really makes you feel uncomfortable, and then it brings it back. So it's stretching you as you're listening to it. It was very minimalistic, but it was very intentional. Everything was intentional. The video was intentional. The music was intentional.
Made by Paul something Anderson, a film director.
Okay,
yes.
Fair. Yeah, so video was intentional, music was intentional. Obviously, I could hear the lack of guitars in that song. Guitars were more used as auxiliary rather than driving the song, which I found interesting. And obviously there's the introduction of keys, whereas in the first song there was no keyboard, there was no textures, it wasn't soundscape building, it was more just, we're just going to give you some chords. So from a songwriting standpoint as well, I think songwriting has kind of remained the same. It's very thoughtful, it's very clever in the way it's delivered, and I think it was within brand of what they were doing at the beginning. It's like, oh, this is clever, we're gonna write it in this style, and the writing was beautiful on the Creep song, because it's like, you think it's about a love song, but it's like, no, it's more than that. And with this Dreamer song, I think you can see the progression of, they probably wanted that song to come out a bit differently, the first one, the Creep song, but it sounds good, but it doesn't feel like that's what they would have fully wanted, the embodiment of what that song would have wanted to be. But I feel like with this Dreamer song, I think musically and the way they composed it was very fearless. It was like, you know what, we're not going to have guitars just blaring up, winding up the mix. We're going to strip it back. We're going to have keys playing ominous notes, just float, like really confident in their ability to create a soundscape, and it sounded dreamery. So when the title matches, the lyrics match, and the song matches. So from first to now, I think they've definitely homed in on, and then another thing as well, to release that as a single is very ballsy. To release that as a single is incredibly ballsy. And I said the secret that the thing I was going to tell you about when I first heard this song, I was just on YouTube, and miraculously, I don't even know what I was doing on YouTube. You know when your finger slips on a button and then the next video plays? The next video played, and I'm on the bus. It's sunny, and I'm on the bus, and I see Radiohead, and I'm like, I've never listened to Radiohead before, but I said, oh, let me let it play. So I let it play, and this song comes up. And as I'm listening to the song, when you're just looking, and then your eyes get fixed, and you're in a glaze, and you can't break the trance, and you're just kind of just like, and you're like, okay, I can't actually move. You could move, but you're in a very pleasurable, the ones there when you're in a pleasurable place where you're just like, oh shoot, like I don't want to blink either, like I'm good.
To be honest, that I would call that, if I had to name that, I would probably call that the Radiohead effect, because they that feeling kind of properly captures that kind of. Anytime I've heard of radio, like just say I'm just at my window. Like I remember when I was in my teens, I was going through like the albums like The Bend, OK Computer, and you just find yourself just like looking out the window, and it's like the songs and the melodies will just kind of put, because they were very much towards this kind of vein sort of thing. Yeah. So you end up connecting with it, some type of emotion. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like,
it's kind of numbing.
It is kind of numbing. Like, and you know what? There was an actual television program that was it was a comedy television program, and they had this character in it, and this character was very, I think, as far as I remember, he was very happy or whatever like that. He had a good life, whatever, so on. Yeah. And then he put on a Radiohead song, right? And then he just turned into this depressed, like, everything went grey. Yeah, everything. And then his life changed.
Really?
Like, yeah. I always remember that. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, I'll call that the Radiohead effect.
And I'll be honest, that song, it didn't just make me cry, and I'm on the bus, and like the guy you just spoke about, I was normal, and then I heard the song, and it just sucked me in to this emotional state where I'm just like, and then you start thinking about life, you're thinking about where you are in life, you think about, ex-partners and girls that, your first lover that broke your heart, and you're just like, but it's not even on a surface level, you get so deep in it. Yeah. You're just like, and then the tears running down, and you're just on the bus, and everyone's looking at you like, what's wrong with this guy? I'm like, I'm fine.
This is actually quite funny.
I'm like, I'm fine.
Right.
You're just listening. But it feels so, and then the song stops, and you're like, what have I just experienced? So that song for me, and I didn't listen to Radiohead before, and again, it was a random occurrence when my finger just slipped on it. Like, that song for me is fantastic. And again, let's just to bring everything back home, the now and the again of this song for me, and the bands rather, Radiohead, I feel like they've definitely sharpened their skills. Have they stayed true to their aesthetic? Would you say yes or no?
That's a very, just based on these two songs.
On those two songs, yeah.
Just based on them two songs. Have they stayed on the aesthetic?
Quick fire round, yes or no? No answering.
I would say
no long thing, yes or no?
I would say yes.
Tegs, did they stay in their authentic to their aesthetic, yes or no? No.
Okay, why I say yes, because I have to explain, because one, they it's still self-reflecting. Yes, it was more on Creep, it was more like mainstream, it was more typically said, but on there, like, you can still feel that it was I don't know what he was saying. Maybe if I looked at the lyrics of the last one, but it was still reflecting inwards kind of thing. I don't know. I had a feeling that it was an inward kind of feeling.
Yeah. Okay.
So, that's the only reason I would say.
Tegs, why do you say no?
Of their aesthetic.
Yeah.
They don't look the same. I mean, they've matured. Musically.
Musically, before we go into the
they still don't look the same, because it was more guitar heavy, and
this one, a lot of piano, or just instruments that you would not typically of a rock band, if you would say that they're a rock band. Yep. That's not a rock sound at all. And I would like, what would you say that genre of music is?
Shoegazy?
No.
I mean, not in the traditional sense, because obviously you're not staring at shoot, but maybe like you are in a trance, innit? It's very somber. It's very soundscape building.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. What is a name for that kind of the last track we just heard? What is that? There's other bands that kind of do that sort of slightly similar to it, but yeah, I don't know.
Martinez, is it Martinez? Austin actually. Yeah, Austin Martinez says he would need to hear more of their stuff to kind of give a judgment for himself.
Hear that?
How many songs are we gonna do? We're just looking at the chat. We're just gonna do the 2 songs. So it's basically Now and Then. So their first ever song to their last ever song. So just to wrap this up, because there is no real answer to this, because obviously music is subjective. For me, I would say that they have from then to now, the growth has been more so in the composing side for me. They know how to draw out that emotion. Creep is a great song. It didn't draw out the emotion from me. This song, Dreamer, definitely drew out the emotion, and it just shows in their musicianship and through the composition of the song. Charles.
Austin Martinez said Melancholy.
Okay, that's the name of the...
And then Excalibur says alternative rock.
Okay,
alt rock. Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay.
So
okay.
Would you? I don't know, because I'll have to draw the comparisons with some stuff that I know more. So like with hip hop, I can imagine a rapper doing a song like this. Would I still say it's hip hop? Yeah. I would, but I think hip hop is one of those genres that you give it that kind of, they will rap over flipping a classical song, and then you'll just say, oh, it's hip hop because they're rapping or whatever. So I don't know, but
just to give this video a nice like rounding off, are we saying the transition has been a good transition or a bad transition?
It depends on. I think it depends on what you like.
Yeah, you have to give. You have no
for
on
me,
you.
For me,
you,
oh yeah, it's a good transition. I'd listen to that again.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd say it's
good transition.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good
transition. And for me,
transition.
it's a good transition also. So we will wrap it up there. Leave your suggestions for what other nows and thens you want us to listen to, what other bands, whatever artists you want to listen to, and we love that.